All right.
Okay, let's do this show.
On a dark and stormy evening, the Bite Me podcast enter the studio to record the 54th anniversary.
It's super dark out.
Episode.
It's dark and gross.
It's real. I don't know about gross, but it's definitely
It's gross
pretty
outside.
gross outside.
It's
We got soaked
gnarly.
at lunch.
Soaked.
Okay, you guys ready for this shit?
Oh, I'm ready for this.
I said it.
You said
I
it.
said the S word.
But I had such a wonderful intro.
It was good.
It was good.
There's no
What was
reason
the
I could
intro?
stay in.
On a dark and stormy evening.
Oh, I didn't get rid of it. It's still there.
It's still there.
But you said the S word.
I
I
said
can
it.
bleep it.
One take, Adam. No edits.
My browser's broken now.
I guess
Everything's
that's true.
broken. Welcome to
You're a
our
wizard.
job.
Yeah.
You're a wizard.
All right.
Okay, let's do this. Welcome
Actual
to
podcast.
Bite Me Podcast episode 54.
54.
54. That's
54.
right. And I'm 54.
No, you're only 40. I'm 40 now, too.
Oh, yeah, I felt really bad, by the way, in the office that day, because he came in, said, all right, I'm not going to be here tomorrow, and I'm like, okay, bye. Didn't even say happy birthday,
That's all right.
nothing.
I do
Well, it
not.
wasn't his birthday yet.
Yes, it was.
It was my birthday.
It was the next day because he took his birthday off.
No, I took the day after my birthday
Oh,
off. Yeah.
I said
I'm
happy
a
birthday.
terrible human being,
Nah.
so it's fine.
It's all good.
I slept just fine that night, don't worry.
Yeah, no. Don't. Thank goodness.
Anyway, my name is Adam West.
And I am Cliff Johnson.
And I'm the Dylan.
The Dylan.
Still just the
He's
Dylan.
like Cher.
Or Adam East, if you wish.
I don't, actually. I unwish that. I opposite of wish that.
Well, we'll see if it comes true.
Okay.
Or
Good
not.
to know.
It's good.
If you prefer.
So, welcome to the holidays.
Oh, geez, right?
They're officially here. Black Friday hit. Cyber Monday also hit. I did not do any shopping on either of those
None,
days.
really.
None.
Wow.
I didn't
None.
buy a video game.
Oh, wait, I'm a liar. I bought something yesterday for my nieces and nephew.
Take
a little
back
bit of something,
everything
something.
Adam just said.
We're actually going to talk about it later, though,
Yeah.
so you don't have to talk about anything now.
Yeah. So, we're going to talk about all the fun stuff that happened over Black Friday and Cyber Monday, if you want to call that fun. The Video Game Awards voting is open. We're going to talk about that. Destiny 2 is their whole leveling thing lately.
It's wacky.
Like, I don't know where it came from because I thought it was okay, and then it
Just out of
wasn't,
left field, yeah, right?
and now it's not, and now
it's gone.
Yeah, it's just dumb. Fortnite is suing cheaters because whatever.
This is just crazy.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's kinda
it'll
dumb.
be fun in
It's kinda
every
dumb.
possible way.
Get your chicken dinner to go. We'll explain that in more detail.
Very clever title for me.
Yeah, I like that.
I think I stole it from that article I linked to.
Oh,
I don't care. It was kind of.
It writes itself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no one was clever. It was too easy.
it's really good.
Too easy.
But then we'll cover some questions from Vinny, Annie, JoeColeslaw as well, and cheap free games. We've got a bunch of those to go over.
Pretty exciting.
Oh, we got a troll corner.
Yeah,
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's a very ambiguously, like,
it really is. It's
kind
okay,
of
though.
thing. So, but anyway, we start each week off with what we're playing, and since I wasn't here last week because I thought I was dying.
We're so glad you didn't. Let's start there.
Are we though?
Well, I mean, mostly because it took me like 45 minutes to start getting the podcast working, and then once I got it working, it took me like an hour and a half to edit it. So
Yeah,
we're
okay.
really happy you're still alive. If
Well,
it's
it'd take
only
Adam
for
about
that.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
probably.
I know. I'm like,
I
"And
like get
I'm
out of my car and I'm like, podcast done. I'm like, how?
Right.
Literally how?
I blinked.
Yeah.
I did a little bewitched nose thing.
I can only assume.
Not really.
He's a
So I've
wizard.
actually been playing some games. I have Gears of War 4, and I haven't played a Gears game since the first one on the 360, and I loved that game, and I remember how much I loved it then. And then with the Xbox One X, it was one of the first games I remember seeing that it was enhanced for 4K, HDR, blah 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 blah, and oh boy howdy, that is probably one of the prettiest things I have ever seen grace my screen.
How do you think it stacks up to Origins?
Oh, it makes Origins. I mean, Origins is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but that 60 frames a second on Gears of War, which I know I've been in the past, I'm like, screw that. I don't need 60 frames, and I don't. But when you couple it with the 4K and the HDR and all the new textures and stuff, it's just...
I still can't tell the difference. I wish the 60 frames a second thing meant anything to me. But
It's beautiful.
It means nothing. Like the 4K and the HDR are like more so the HDR than the 4K though. I think. Although I will say,
Oh no! See, I think the HDR makes the way bigger difference than 4K.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I do too. Yeah.
Oh, is that what you just said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I agree with you.
I'm glad we can come together. I'm glad I can see
Why
you
do we
now
have to
too.
fight
That's
about
better,
that?
right? Yeah. No, I think it makes a
know what I
really
look
big
like on
difference.
the
I finally figured out why mine wasn't playing in Assassin's Creed 2. Is I just had to I didn't have my bit depth set high enough up. Apparently, I could
That's a thing?
I could go up to 12, but mine was set at 8, and so Assassin's Creed wasn't recognizing it. So if you can't, that's a thing.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but,
it looks great.
Gears of War, it looks great. It is fun too. Like, I forgot how much fun those games are. The only complaint I do have about it is your character moving through the map. He moves kind of slow.
Yeah.
They
That's
just
kind of
kinda-
what it is. I mean, that game's a big, lumbering cover system. You know,
Yeah.
you're supposed to be like this enhanced, 350 pounds of solid muscle
Right.
lumber dude.
If I could only be that in real life.
Geez.
I've always-
I would settle for just 350 pounds of something else.
I've always loved the way your character moves in that game, just because
It's got a really good cover
feels
system.
like, and when you hit the wall and take cover, you hit it. Like you can feel it just kind of.
It's got a good cover system, too. Probably
works.
one of the best cover systems.
That was the game that I went from going, I hate first-person shooters
Yeah.
to I've never played a game like this where it's an over-the-shoulder kind of shooter and you
Yeah.
use cover instead of trying not to get hit by stuff right in front of you.
And it's pretty cheap now, too. You can get Gears for what, $20?
I got it. Yeah, I got it $20.
I think it's in Game Pass, too, if you have Game Pass.
Oh, is
So,
it? Well,
yeah, I think so.
I don't, and I didn't, and I paid $20.
No, it's all right.
But it's $20.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
I paid $15 for it.
Yeah, it was cheap over the holidays, but I think it's relatively cheap the rest of the time too. And that has
it's-
4-player co-op.
Is it 4-player co-op?
I think so.
Oh, wow. See, I haven't delved into it that much, just enough to go, wow, it's really pretty, and I
Yeah.
like the way these guns feel.
Yeah, no, that's good.
So I've been playing that, and I've been playing Assassin's Creed Origins a lot.
It's good. It's
yeah.
really good.
It's I started playing that last night after dinner. Around 8:30 is when I booted in, started playing. Kevin, for whatever reason, started playing Dota out of nowhere. And then he went to the gym around 9. And then when I went to bed, it was about 1 in the morning.
Dang.
Yeah, and I just
Wow.
was just on my horse and just opening up different areas of the map and just getting all those different
Wait,
viewpoints.
you get a horse eventually? I just have a camel.
Oh yeah, no, you get a horse, you get
Oh.
all kinds of mounts.
That's nice because camel's kind of dumb.
I like the camel. I
He's
like the
real
noise
cute,
that it
though.
makes.
Yeah.
It's
I agree.
real dumb looking.
I have you been feeling to me, what I've liked most, and I don't think I've played as much as you played last night, apparently. But do you love the feeling of the side quests in that game?
Yes.
It's got that real Witcher, Skyrim feel where I'm like, who cares what's happening? I don't care that I have to save this
Yeah.
world. Let's go dig kids out of hyena dens and let's go exploring.
I'm like, oh, I just found this guy's dead kid because he tried to do a
Yeah.
leap of faith and missed.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah, but I've really been enjoying just going around and questing and doing things and shooting people and beating
Yeah, the
people with
combat's.
clubs.
I mean, the
and-
combat's fine.
It's not great. I
It's
agree.
not great.
It's kind of
It's kind of button mashy. There's not a whole lot to it.
well, not only that, but it feels to me it feels kind of like the combat in Horizon Zero Dawn, where
I never played it.
I want it to. It feels like what I'm doing should be either I should be good enough to be able to pull off cool things, or the game should do a better job at stringing things together for me so they
Yeah.
feel better.
Yeah.
I guess what I really liked about Nier Automata
Nier Automata.
is that even though I was just pushing buttons frantically, it took those buttons together and made them into this beautiful
And said, oh, let's create a
dance
symphony from this
of-
cacophony.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Look at those big words.
That was very nice.
Almost
Adam's
impressed.
smart.
Almost impressed.
Almost impressed.
Well, you should play Assassin's Creed Origins because you will be very, very
It's
impressed.
so pretty too. There was a sunrise the other day, and I was just like, wow.
I heard about that. Okay.
Yeah.
The map in this thing. Have you actually gone into your map and zoomed out to
no.
see everything that can
Is
be
it
unlocked?
huge?
I don't know how. I honestly don't know how it compares to Breath of the Wild, but it's got to be on
Big.
par.
Yeah, I
Is-
think Assassin's Creed is going to be one of those games that I just slow roll through, that I play, a couple hours of it a week, and I'm going to play it over a year,
It's fun. And there's a lot of weird little instanced kind of things where these avenge quests pop up, and they never I was in the middle of an avenge quest, which I think, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong or whatever. But I think what it is it's somewhere in game another character, some other person playing in the world has died,
Interesting.
and it leaves a marker, kind of like what's that game? Was it Demon Souls?
Yeah, I think
Or
so.
something where you die,
Neo
and
did that, or Nier did that too, actually.
and then you can leave a marker or a note for somebody else playing in the same universe. I think it's kind of like that. And when you pick up these Avenge quests, it marks the band of like bandits or whatever that killed him like all over the map, and you can go hunt them down and kill them and get these really cool, get cool gear, cool upgrades, cool whatever.
Yeah.
So, but it's fun. The scope of the game is amazing. I climbed a pyramid in Giza all the way to the top of it last night, and it kind of freaked me out because I'm kind of scared of heights.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's really cool.
Ooh.
I'm just excited about that game, like just watching that unfold. Like I said, I don't want to like. There's part of me that wants to just like to jump into it and play 60 hours the next 2 weeks. Like I have that time, but give up 6 hours of sleep or something.
Right.
But then there's this other part of me that just like savor that game. Like don't burn yourself out on that game playing.
I don't know. I think there's just
fast.
so much into it in it though that I don't think you're gonna burn out.
Well, that's what
I
think it's not the amount of stuff. But that's how Skyrim was to me. Yeah, is I got 110, 115 hours into Skyrim, and I'm just like, I think I've done everything I need to do in this game, but I still haven't finished it yet.
Right.
And so the last like 15 hours were kind of like, all right, I guess I'll make this quest happen. And I kind of want this game just to be like, oh yeah, I want to see what happens next.
Yeah.
Like, we'll pick it up and put it down, and we'll come back to it in a couple days and see where we're at. So it's a good game though.
One game I do want to pick up though, it's free. I know it's out now. I'm pretty sure across the board, Android and iOS, is the Animal Crossing Camp.
Yeah, Dylan played it through most of last week's podcast. Yeah.
Oh, did ya?
Yeah.
Oh, do you like it? Is it an Animal Crossing game?
Yeah, I mean it's good. Cliff and I were talking about this earlier, and just mobile games in general, and I think Animal Crossing, even in its not mobile form, but being like a handheld game, and the way it plays is very much a mobile type game.
Right.
That just doesn't fit into my life very well. Cause I figure if I had a 30-minute bus ride every day,
perfect,
I would probably play it. But where does that time come from otherwise? I don't know.
If I'm going to sit down and play games for a half hour, I'm going to sit down and play a game for a half hour, or I'm going to read, or I'm going to I rarely, or I'm going to look at Twitter. I rarely think like I'm going to sit down and play Animal Crossing.
Like the loop in it is fun. Like go catch bugs and go net fish and then go pick apples or whatever, and then give them to your friends so they like you more, and then you craft things with the stuff they give you, and you can trick out your camper and your little campsite, which is cool. Like that's great. But alongside all the other games that I play and with people and such, so
gotcha. Yeah, I'm curious because I know a lot of people have picked it up, and it's what it would 7 million or 15 million downloads.
Oh wow, really? I hadn't seen. Yeah.
It's some insane amount. I think it might be.
I've heard
7.
it's good, and I've heard that the like free to play mechanics aren't terrible.
Yeah.
Like it's just a lot of waiting.
Yeah.
But
cool.
I have it installed. Maybe I'll poke around with it.
I'm getting all kind of comfy back here.
Yeah, I was going to say
yeah, I'm super flexible.
I'm actually really impressed.
All right, so that's what I'm playing. Who wants to go next? Fight.
I'll go next.
Okay. I didn't want to fight. I'm not into it.
I've been playing like a lot. Like you said though, I've been playing Assassin's Creed. I've been playing a little bit of the first Wolfenstein, so Wolfenstein New Order, which is still great. One thing I've really gotten into in the last couple of weeks though, or tried to get into, is Grand Theft Auto 5.
You're into it, or you're kind of into it.
I really want to be into it.
On the verge of
being into it. Yeah.
Like,
me and Colby and Kevin have been trying to play it online for.
Oh yeah, you were talking about
that. Like 3 weeks in a row, and it just doesn't work. Like it doesn't.
Online.
It doesn't matter how hard we try. We cannot get into the same game. We had it working. I'm going to say once in the last couple of weeks, and like. Colby can get in a game with Kevin, and I can get in a game with Colby. We just can't all get in it together, and it's terrible. And it doesn't give you any insight into what you're doing wrong. And when it fails to get you in a game, often it'll pull you all the way back out of the game and then drop you into another game with a bunch of other random multiplayer people. And so with a loading screen in the middle, and so then you have to go back to try and do a new game, and there's another loading screen. Like, I've seen so many Grand Theft Auto online loading screens in the last 2-3 weeks that I'm almost done.
Why, if it's got, like, I mean, you can't be the only person having these problems, I guess, or...
You are.
I'm just doing
you are the only person
are.
because there's so many people that talk about how amazing it is, and it's like a whole other game or two.
And what I'm wondering is either they're playing by themselves online... I don't know. I mean, we set up a crew. There's a Bite Me podcast GTA 5 crew. Yeah. And
legit.
We
Ride or die.
Exactly. We couldn't all get into the same thing with crews. I mean, we tried everything, and it worked once, and it was so much fun. We had like such a great time, and we weren't even like doing like heists or jobs. We just like shoot a cop and then try and get away. And, you know, Kevin and I in the back, like shooting off passengers, you know, on other cars and shooting cops and, you know, driving crazy and driving, you know, over cliffs and through, you know, tunnels. And it was just fun. It was just this
the woods.
dumb. Yeah, exactly.
Debauchery.
It was just fun. And then we ran out, like I ran out of money. I'm like, oh, I need to get more money to buy more bullets. The only way to do bullets is to do jobs, and we can't get jobs to work. And it was just like,
that's no fun.
We want to have fun playing this game, and just, I don't know, I literally don't know what we're doing wrong, but we can't get it to work. But I've been playing the single player too. The single player is still fun as
is it?
Anything you've ever
I
wanted
need to play it.
So yeah, it's a good game, but it just, I wish I could figure out online play, because I'm like, I think there's something there. And I think that that's something would be fun. And the couple times that like I've played with my brother, we've had a great time doing it. And the couple times that my brother's played with Kevin, they've had a great time doing it. We just can't. I mean, in theory, we should be able to get 10 people in and be doing these like big online extravaganzas of GTA, and we just can't figure out how to make it work.
Have to
so
jump on there and figure it out.
It's real disappointing. So I think,
I'm curious.
Yeah,
to see
Dylan wants to try on Sunday morning. So I guess if anyone has the game Sunday morning, we're going to try and.
Well, I kind of want to do it, but
working.
it's like, don't you have to? You can't just load into Grand Theft Auto 5 and then immediately go online.
Yeah, that is actually a really good point. There's a huge tutorial too. I mean, the tutorial takes probably
the tutorial
2 hours to go through the online tutorial. It's like 4 or 5 missions, and it doesn't do a very good job of telling you like where the next one is. So, if you want to play with us on Sunday,
start
do that
now.
part first. Yeah,
it's
real weird.
I've never tried it online.
Yeah, and like I said, it really seems like there's something fun there, and it's like if what you've enjoyed about Grand Theft Auto in the past is just doing stupid crap and like kind of letting the proceduralness of the universe kind of take over, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I've got so many just like short 30-second video clips of stupid crap happening that you know, there's something there that's going to be fun. I don't know. We all got Wildlands, so and Wildlands has a feeling of kind of GTA plus drug cartels.
Oh, that's
actually the same feeling. GTA plus Bolivia.
It's different.
So maybe that'll actually be the GTA we want, but I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Fun.
I've been playing that, and then last night I actually played Songbringer, and Songbringer actually was a game that was given to us by the publisher for a review, and it's really interesting. It's made by a company called Wizard Fu Games. They developed and published it, and it's a Zelda-like, but like Zelda Link to the Past. It's got this kind of wacky, really pretty but really strange pixel art style.
This isn't a game with the flying mechanic in it, is it?
It is not.
Okay.
So as soon as you load up the game, it says, okay, choose your world seed, and it procedurally generates a Zelda-like world for you to play in, and each one is unique based on the seed you put in. So I used Bite Me as our seed, and so theoretically, anyone else that went in and put in Bite Me as their seed, they'd play in the same world I'm in, I believe. But it plays just like Zelda after that, like literally down, except it's like Zelda if Zelda was kind of sci-fi. Like the reason it's called Songbringer is you were on a spaceship called Songbringer, and that spaceship crashed, and now you're on this world trying to get back to it. But I mean, literally, like you get this magical top hat that you can throw and pick things up, and it comes back to you like Link's boomerang, and you get literally the first thing that you do in the game is walk into this cave and literally pick up the one sword. Like there's no guy that says, take this, it's dangerous, but it's the one sword. And there's bombs that you can use to blow things up, and but it's all procedural, and it's really, really interesting. I've only played it for maybe a half hour, 40 minutes, but there's something there that I think I like.
Cool.
It's probably not going to be the greatest game in the world. The reviews have been kind of middling so far, but the 40 minutes I played with, I really enjoyed. So, but I got stomped by a boss like 2 or 3 times and gave it up for the night. But I'll probably be playing more. It's on PC. I got a Steam key for it. And I actually live streamed it last night, so there's record of it, but it didn't have the for some reason when I streamed it, the audio didn't come through, which is kind of a bummer. It's got really cool kind of chiptune audio, so we'll see. I might drop that up on YouTube,
Gotcha.
just for the sake of things. But yeah, Songbringer, it's fun. I've had a good time with it so far.
Looks interesting.
Yeah.
Mr. Dillon, what about you? What are you playing?
I
feel like you've been playing on your Switch.
What?
I feel like you've been playing on your Switch a lot.
Have I?
I don't know. It's what it looks like.
No.
Oh.
No.
Aside from PUBG, which is the go-to in the evenings,
Have you,
Pokemon.
You have not yet got 3 chicken dinners in a row.
Not in a
right?
row.
Oh.
We keep getting first, second place.
So close.
But one, we'll get the trifecta here soon. Josh, looking at you. We're so close.
And Josh,
So
I'm
close.
looking at you to shoot Dylan in the head. Do it.
No.
Again.
No,
don't do
Dylan
it.
shot Josh in the head.
Oh, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
But I redeemed myself later through other means.
There's no redemption for that.
I got Pokemon Ultra Moon on the 3DS,
Nice.
as I believe I mentioned last time, but I've played it a little bit more. I got some cool old school Pokemon because it's what I do. I catch the old ones that I know from my time being 5 years old and not 25 years old, which is crazy
Yeah.
that was 20 years ago.
Right.
That I was catching my first, like, Pokemons.
Mhm.
And now, but it's a lot of fun. I didn't get to play it too much over the holidays, but I got past the first what this game's version of gym leaders are, because they don't actually have gyms proper in this game like all the other games have. But I think they're kahunas. It's a little weird. Like, it kind of threw me a little bit, but it works within the game. It's pretty similar, so
Sure.
it doesn't really change the game as much as it kind of just freshens it up.
Sure.
But I'm glad I do see a lot of the Pokemon that I do know, and I'm able to catch those ones.
And I'm sorry,
use
did you
those
say
ones.
you got the daytime one or the nighttime
The
one?
Ultra Moon? So
Ultra Moon, so it's the nighttime one.
It's the nighttime. So if I play during the day, it's nighttime. If I play during
Sure.
the night, it's daytime, which is kind of interesting. But
Okay.
I'm not sure quite how that's going to affect everything yet.
Sure.
I'm sure you'll see some more interesting Pokemons as you move through the game.
Yeah.
Other than that, I popped Zelda back in my Switch.
Nice.
There you go, Adam. I finally took down my first Divine Beast.
Which one?
There's one with you have to use the shock arrows.
The water one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Let's call him Hans. No, actually, I know a Hans. That's a terrible thing. I like Hans a lot.
Elephantus. Hans Elephantus.
Hans Elephantus. That's perfect.
Because he's kind of like an elephant.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite ones. I really like that Divine Beast.
Yeah, so that was, I finally jumped back in and tried to figure out what I was doing, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to climb this hill and find shock arrows. Oh, that's a big scary troll. I'm going to leave.
Oh, that's when you had to fight the
I didn't fight it. I just
yeah,
ignored it. I just got the shock
the
arrows and
Lionel.
left.
That's one of the silver Lionels.
Yeah, I was like, how do it...
It's so difficult. Those
Yeah.
guys they're hard. Those guys are more difficult to beat than any of the Divine Beasts.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And they're just there. I want to say there's 15 or so of them that are just kind of
Oh, yeah.
randomly out there.
Yeah, I didn't even bother. Like, I'm not tough yet. Like, I don't have many hearts. I don't have a lot of strong weapons or powers. Because I feel like it's really early in the game, especially for fighting something like that. I don't...
Yeah.
But that's pretty early on in the game, so I felt...
It's early if you went to that Divine Beast first. I did the desert one first.
Oh, I don't know where else I would have gone. Like, that's literally, I feel like, where the game led me.
Oh,
like,
really?
Right away.
Yeah. No, I went to the desert and did that one first.
Okay.
I was very disappointed that the Black Friday deals on Zelda never actually
You know.
materialized. It was supposed to be $40 on Amazon, and it just never actually happened. Yeah, it's kind of a
That's
bummer.
Nintendo for you.
Yeah, I was really thinking about picking that up for $40, but oh well.
And I was a little mad that I couldn't climb everything.
Yeah,
I tried to climb up this mountain and it just wouldn't let me. Like, I kept falling. I'm like, why can't I climb this?
I said I had kind of a
Can you-
backward
can you,
incline.
like, when it starts inclining backwards, can you not climb that anymore? I thought it was just harder to climb when it had a steeper incline.
You can climb everything.
Like, it would not let me climb up this mountain.
Was it wet? If it was wet, then you can't climb it.
What the?
If it's wet, you can
I don't
you
know.
take 2 or 3 and then you slip.
I keep hearing these people say I can climb anything, and then
And
I
then
get
I
inside a
can't climb
shrine. Like,
anything.
oh, you can't climb inside shrines. Of
no.
course you can't
Of course
climb
you
Don't
inside
tell me I can
shrines.
climb anything if I can't. Like, I understand.
Well,
it's
you can
harder and
climb.
takes
There's just a
longer.
way to. There's a way.
Wait till it dries up.
Yes, there's that.
Fine. Is there a
It
wait till it
crea-
dries up button?
It's called challenge.
But it's not. It's literally,
and
do
strategy.
I have enough stamina to climb this hill?
You can't.
There's no platforming to it. It's like, look at the hill. Can I climb it? Let's find out. Oh, I died.
Well,
Which
you-
the thing that bothers me more than the climbing is the swimming. oh, you're 2 inches from the from land, but you're out of stamina, so you're
Okay.
dead. Start over.
That's kind of
It's
irritating.
that's
I'm on your
super
team.
irritating.
I'm on your team there.
Like, that is the worst.
But that's the only part of
Team Dylan.
That's the
Yeah.
only time I'm on your team in this argument.
I'm a werewolf. Moving on.
What
Please.
else? Oh, is that it?
That's
Is that
it.
Oh.
Games. I played a lot of board games and stuff this weekend, actually. So
And Miles Neurogamer keeps telling us we need to do a Dungeons and Dragons podcast where we set up a legit tabletop game and just do that.
I was actually trying to get a Dungeons and Dragons game together. So if you guys want to do that, I'm down.
I've never done something like that. I've never played one of those.
Yeah, let's do it.
You play video games.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'll get a game going if you guys want to.
I've never played it.
I've
played it twice, very briefly, but
I played it for like 2 weeks, super seriously, with this super nerdy kid I knew in junior high.
but look at us, we're not nerds.
No, that's the problem.
I'm not a
is,
nerd.
It would be
I
awesome.
got my geek on.
Yeah.
So this nerd thing's new. We'll try it out.
Are we going to stream it? Like,
I
is that what
figured
they're
if we just break
requesting?
it
If we're gonna
down.
do this dumb D&D thing, yes, we're
So
gonna
why
stream
don't?
it.
Is there a way to create a short kind
Yeah,
of
like
game?
it's like a one. I think they call them like one shots, like similar to where you do a one shot graphic novel or something,
Well,
where
like, why don't
it's a
we come up-
standalone story.
Like,
so
what if we do like a standalone story that we can do in like 4 30-minute increments?
I think you'd rather knock it out in 2 hours once, but
Okay, well,
Whatever.
that's okay. We could do that.
I
and then
think
we could
I think
make
it's
it
just gonna be
episodic.
more
We'll
we
do
could
this
end it.
thing.
Does Adam
If you-
make it out
like,
of the cavern
if you want
alive
it
with
a
the
little-
black mage?
if you want it a little longer, yeah, break it up into multiple sessions. But if you just want one story that just you just want to finish it.
Okay.
And if you want to keep coming back, if you have a lot of fun, then sure.
How many people do you need to do it?
I would say you probably want your party to be probably 3 to 5. I would guess. I'm still learning, and then you need a game master, of course.
Do you know anyone that can do it, or are you going to do it?
I'll do it.
DM, there you go.
Oh, God.
That's what I'm really interested. Like that's kind of what I've been doing. Is
Yeah,
is
okay.
Trying
I'm
to
100% down.
so,
Could be fun.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what
You
we
can
have
tell
been
all the
playing.
monsters to bite me.
Right. Oh, I see what you did there. Before we get into the news, just a reminder: if you're on the iTunes or whatever you're listening to, is Google Play or Podcast One, thank you. Like us, review us, rate us, give us thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs wherever.
No, only thumbs up.
I don't care.
I do.
As long as you say something
Up or
about
bust.
us.
That's true.
Preferably
Constructive
nice.
criticism is welcome.
Yeah. Say something nice, and if we get your review, we'll read it and send you a little something. If
We
pick
actually
yours
got
to
one,
read.
and I don't have it, so we'll have to read it next week.
Next week on the Bite Me podcast,
Yeah.
we have a review.
We have a review.
Yeah,
from
the
what I
Bite Me
hear.
It was really nice, though. I just don't. It was our Canadian reviewer. Remember, I sent that to you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Was that?
Yeah,
was that the
super
same
nice guy.
review?
I don't
That was a
remember
good-
his
it was a good
name.
review too.
I just remember he's from Canada, and we love Canada.
Oh, yeah. I remember that
That's
one.
because now we're internationally.
Oh,
renowned.
crap. Is he our first international? Like,
I think so. Yeah.
Guy
Ah.
that reached out at least and said he was from somewhere
all
else.
the way in Canada.
Yeah. 2 hours north of here.
Right. So, yeah. All right. So let's get into all the stuff that's happening here. What do we call it?
News.
That's the stuff.
I almost said it. I'm like,
I know
it's
you
news,
almost said
Adam.
it. You're
What-
like, duh, it's right there.
I make that headline every week.
And this first one, it's not really news. It's more of just a quick little discussion.
Yeah, we'll chat a little bit.
Black Friday, Cyber Monday, it happened.
It did.
I don't think my brother listens, so if you're listening to this right now, brother, please don't play this around your children.
La, 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 la.
Right, I picked up one of the Xbox One S bundles with the Forza Hot Wheels game that came with it for $195.
It's crazy.
Deals.
It's
so
great
crazy.
stuff. So I picked that up. That's literally the only thing I bought on the Black Friday sale
That's crazy.
or Cyber Monday sale.
The funny thing is, I did all my Black Friday shopping, like, because Black Friday opened up on, like, I don't know, Tuesday. And I bought
What is this world?
yeah, I bought a ton. It's,
Stick to the script.
no. It's, we live in this, like, weird capitalist society.
But like,
pretty
if
soon
you're
it's
gonna
going to be
call it
like,
Black Friday.
nah, it's not how it works, man.
Well, then it happens
Did
on
you hear,
Tuesday.
like, how
and it
much
happens-
money that, like, got spent this weekend?
Oh, I
$6.7 trillion or something.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Black Friday.
I can't wait to have black every day.
They think that Amazon made 50% of online sales were through Amazon. And
Well,
they
the
think
Black
that
Friday sale pushed Bezos
billion-
or whatever his name is up
into
over the $100 billion
yeah.
mark.
They think they made $1 billion on Black Friday. Isn't that insane?
Man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
just call it. All I'm asking is just call it something different.
Black Friday week.
Black Plague Week.
There you go.
The
I don't
bubonic
care.
week.
Anything. Anything.
So did you guys pick up anything at all during any of
I
these
bought a
year
bunch of
sales?
stuff, but early. Like all this, I was telling Vicky actually, like all the Steam sales came out in the GOG sales. I'm like, no, I'm not going to buy anything on these because I already have so many games. I made a list of games I'm going to play, and I'm going to play those games, and I'm not going to buy any new dumb Steam games. I have
Today.
7,000 games on my list, and I did not buy a single game on the Steam sale, and I'm so proud of myself.
Is it over? Is the sale
I
over?
believe so,
Or is it...
but I did buy Assassin's Creed Origins,
Of course.
and I did buy Wolfenstein, the new Colossus, and I did buy Forza 3, and I did buy the Disney Afternoon Collection, and I got Wildlands for my birthday. You know, so
you really didn't buy any
I didn't
video
really
games?
buy anything.
No.
I did also buy a new media PC for my house, though.
I saw the picture of that.
It's the most amazing, adorable thing I've ever purchased in my entire life. Like I have a media PC that's next to my TV, so I can like stream soccer to it and like download movies and stream them off that kind of thing. And for years, I've just been using this giant desktop. It's like not even a real medium-sized thing. It's a pretty big
it's
box.
a beast.
Yeah. And I replaced it with a PC that's 4 inches by 4 inches by 2.5 inches tall, and it's so much faster, and it's adorable. It's just the cutest little thing, but it's also fast enough that I can actually probably play some games off of it too. Just has a little integrated video card, but it was like $250, and just this little teeny. I had to put my own hard drive in it, but I had a hard drive from my other beastly machine. I had to put my own RAM in it, but I had RAM from an old laptop, and so like for $250, I got this little teeny media PC, and it's adorable. It's absolutely just the cutest little thing I've ever gotten. So I like it a lot. But I got
Cute.
that on sale too.
I didn't buy anything other
That's
than
crazy.
that system. Did you buy anything?
I didn't buy any video games. I bought other stuff.
Did you buy
Like-
anything fun?
I bought a
I
lawnmower.
bought,
Ooh.
I did not buy a lawnmower. I'm just
No.
assuming.
I went to half price books because it was just 25% off of everything, and then
Oh,
the
yeah.
stuff there's.
So does that make
half
everything
price anyway.
75% off?
Right?
Well, no, because it's 25% off of half off, so it's
It's
not a full 75%
more like a
because it's
62%
already discounted, and then
discount.
you're only discounting off half of the price, so you're not getting the 25% off of the retail amount.
This is too
So,
much math. But anyway, you bought some books.
I'm glad
I got
math
a
is still thing.
collection of H.P. Lovecraft books.
Nice.
Because I
Nice.
had all of them in one huge book, which is completely unwieldy if you want to read it, especially when you're reading a short story, which tends to be 10 pages.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm reading 10 pages out of 1,400 at a
Yeah.
time. And so now I have 6 nice little
Very
hardcover
nice.
books in a slipcase that has all his works in it. So that was pretty neat.
Very cool.
Fun.
And then just got some other
Books.
random, like, Cards Against Humanity expansions or whatever.
I love Cards
Love
Against
those
Humanity
games.
so much.
Yeah, that's
it.
That's
I
it?
think I bought some other stuff, but it wasn't.
Anything exciting?
Yeah.
Cool.
Deals. I got some movies and stuff. I actually stopped at Target on the way home on Thanksgiving, on Black Thanksgiving Thursday.
Oh yeah, I bought
Um,
I bought what's the hacker game? Watch Dogs 2 too.
Yeah, I almost picked that up because
$15,
Yeah. But I just looked at like the $4 to $9 movies at Target because
Yeah.
I'll just walk in there casually and grab a couple movies and check out
Yep.
because it's not that big.
Right.
It's not that crowded.
Oh, I went
think
at
it's
like
kind
6
of-
and there was no one there. It was
Yeah.
pretty empty. I got the Lego Batman.
Yeah, I got
movie
Lego Batman,
and Peanuts.
and
the
then
Peanut
the
movie.
Peanuts movie,
Yeah.
and the new Planet of the Apes, and the second Planet of the Apes, and now I just
Oh, I
need
didn't
the
see
first
those.
Planet of
I've
the
not seen
Apes.
any of those movies. I really want
Yeah.
to.
I like the first one.
Yeah, I heard
I've
that
not
the
seen
new
the
one
other
looked
two.
amazing.
I heard the last two were great too.
Yeah, the newest one's apparently just phenomenal, but I wanted to watch the other
Yeah,
two.
I need to catch those too because they look good.
Well, that's fun.
I'm glad that we could be movie buddies. Though. That was fun.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Anybody who's listening, if you scored something super awesome on Black Friday or Cyber Monday, let us know. We'd love to
Yeah,
hear about
I like
your
deals.
like your deals that you got. All right. So first point of news. Let's get into it. The Video Game Awards voting is open at thegameawards.com. And I clicked through and just took a quick little look. So let's talk about some of these. Let's hit some of the big ones,
I
especially
would want to say too, like
Game of the Year.
The Game Awards are so fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a really weird mix of like the Oscars and like E3. Like a ton of games will get announced at the Video Game Awards. It's totally worth watching, and it's actually really worth watching in 4K.
And when is that happening?
Next Thursday, I believe.
Okay. Yep, December 7th.
And then right after the Video Games Awards actually is PSX, so or the PlayStation Experience or whatever they call it.
Snap.
Yeah. So
Fun. So let's talk about this one right off the bat. Game of the Year.
yes.
This is hard.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good games in here. Obviously, the two big ones that Nintendo just scored this year because
Yeah.
they're incredible, Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey.
And then, what do you guys think about PUBG being in Game of the Years?
Man, it's
like a
such
game
an-
that's not out yet.
It's such an interesting choice because it's like so many people play this
Yeah.
game, so it's almost
But
like
it's technically in beta.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're technically nominating a game that's not.
but I don't think it matters because more people play that than anything.
Yeah, but I mean, like at the same time too. Like I mean, it's a super fun game, but it's janky. Like that game
yeah.
is. If it was any game, I guess my point with PUBG is if PUBG had just launched 1.0 with as janky as that is, everyone would go
Nobody
like,
would be
"Oh, this
talking
game's
about it.
garbage."
It is,
You know,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
that game is probably animation wise often as bad as Mass Effect was, but it was like, nah, it's cool, no big deal. You know.
The thing is, it plays so well though.
Yeah.
Aside from
Oh, yeah.
that,
Yeah.
it's just-
No, I'm
it's
not like I
so-
don't really have an opinion either way. I think that if you're if you have your own award show, you are welcome to nominate
Right.
whoever you wish.
I think it
Yeah.
should be nominated
Yeah.
here.
It's a good game.
Unless you're gonna wait till it gets an official release, but I don't think that doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
to say a game is done and it's not is kind of
Well,
irrelevant
like, is
at
the
this point
official
in time.
release
No.
release going to happen before the Game Awards? Because I know that we're right
No.
on top
No,
of
it
it.
happens right
Uh,
after. It's the
December
12th.
isn't even. That's not the official release.
Oh, that's right.
Uh,
That's
Xbox goes into early
access,
or,
yeah.
Is that what game preview?
Game preview.
Oh, I thought they
so
said
it's
that,
not.
I
It's
thought they
not
said
the,
1.0 was going to happen before the end of the year.
No, I think it's going to be next year.
Well, that's a pain.
It might. Yeah, that might be true, but
I
it's
don't know.
not necessarily December when Xbox game gets released because that goes into game preview.
Yeah, I don't actually know if I could choose between these. So it's Zelda,
Yeah.
Mario Odyssey, Battlegrounds, Persona 5. And
Which do you have Persona 5?
I don't.
No?
I'd love to play it, but I don't have 120 hours to play
Exactly.
some weird JRPG.
And then Horizon Zero Dawn. You've played
which is
that.
great.
Have you
Like,
played that one?
This would be
Dylan?
very hard for me to pick. I love all these games. I
No,
don't.
I didn't play
I
that.
don't even know if I'd want to pick. They're all good.
So, like, here's my thing. Like, it's like, okay, you mentioned the Oscars. It's like, so should the Oscars nominate movies based on, actual artistry and technicality and the actual quality of the script and the writing, the acting, and everything that goes into making a movie? Or do you
Popularity.
get nominated because of some social or cultural,
Right.
explosion
and I would
in
say
popularity?
that almost any of these, you could probably make an argument for both sides of that. Like that's what makes these Game of the Year.
I think it's a combination of those things because if something can literally create a ripple effect through a culture, then that needs to be nominated.
Even though, admittedly, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is not technically a good game.
Yeah, it's technically
Technically, it's impressive for what they're pulling off, but they're pulling it off kind of
bad,
half-assed.
Yeah,
They really are. Like, I have fun with it. I think it's a
oh,
lot
it's
of fun.
tons of fun, but it's janky.
And it is a great
Yeah.
game. But yeah, it's like,
I mean-
how many times have you loaded into a game and, there are no walls on anything and you're looking at everybody?
I mean, that's
Really?
it happens, but literally very few times in comparison to the amount of time I've played it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
the
fair.
buildings are melty when I drop down, and then they load in, and everything's fine.
It's amazing.
Occasionally, you don't get to jump out of the plane, but if you lose a checkers piece, I guess you go find it, and you put it back on the table, and you play checkers. It doesn't look like a very good game, but it's perfect because it
Right.
plays. It's a perfectly balanced game.
I like that was a good
So I
little-
mean, that's how I look at PUBG. Is it's near perfect. If they put the technical issues and just nailed it, so it didn't have any of those issues, like there's literally almost nothing to complain about in
Right.
that game because it's
only one map.
so perfectly balanced.
Right.
I mean, again, there's going to be a second one soon. So
Gonna be.
wow.
but the thing is, the plane always flies in at a different angle, and you choose where you drop. You
Yeah.
can try to drop as far away or as close to as you want. You know where the hot spots are. You know which places spawn weapons more frequently and what better weapons spawn where, and you learn those things, and you know your secret spots that you drop in there with your buddies. And
Yeah.
I mean,
I kid. I'm actually super excited about
Yeah.
playing this. Like, I own it on the PC, and I have not played it there much. But I think
I
once
just-
I get on the Xbox, I'm going to play it a bunch.
I just think it's funny that we've got these 4 other games that are technically, artistically,
Yeah.
and gameplay-wise impressive. Hi.
Hey, question. You have a second?
Yeah, what's up?
So, I'm working with somebody for some Star Wars Battlefront 2 games.
Yes.
I've heard of that game.
Are you all in there?
Yep.
Yes, we are.
Oh, perfect. I have perfect timing. There's a slight chance they might be able to give away a Sony PlayStation PS4 console with the game. Do you want me to send her your information and let her know that you guys are a podcast and you have a lot of
Yes, and let her know that we're in conjunction with you guys too. That way, if they can double up via your promotional department, like you can work with us as well.
Okay, then I might just CC. Do you want me to do all three of you guys, or who?
Yeah, that's fine. Or bite me at Bite Me
That's
Podcast.
fine.
Yeah,
Just keep it internal.
Yeah, internal's fine.
Yeah, us. Yeah, so you can copy us.
Okay, perfect. And then I'll just introduce you guys there, and
All right.
because it's not really a fit for us on air, but on stream, and then that might help you guys get in with them. So.
You're my favorite person
All
ever.
right, cool. Thank you. We love you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
That's fun.
Sorry about
Technically
that.
What were we-
impressive.
Is that what I said?
Yeah. These 4 games are very technically impressive, and then PUBG looks like a little turd.
I didn't
That's basically
say
what
that.
you're saying.
It's not what I said. I just think it's funny that we've got these 4 other games that are technically, artistically, and gameplay-wise impressive. And then we've got PUBG, which started in early access early this year, $30. Everybody bought into it, and it's literally been a work in progress going up against
And it's
Nintendo. And it's
Yeah.
still a work in progress. And you've got games like Horizon Zero Dawn,
Yeah.
Super Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Persona 4, 5,
Whatever.
whichever.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting that
Yeah.
this game came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe that is what it
It
has,
has its
though. You know,
effect.
I mean, the other ones have production values, and it just has really solid gameplay that people want to play over and over and over and over again.
A lot,
and
a
that's
lot.
great. You know,
And you get chicken dinners.
I love chicken.
You get to eat chicken when
guess.
you
Hell
win.
yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't pick between these 5 though.
It's
So-
hard.
I don't
yeah.
think I could do it. And
I'm
I've-
trying to think of what other games came out this year too that could have been missed. Like, what's the honorable mention here?
mayhaps we should scroll down. I bet you some of them will be there.
Yeah, let's do that. So let's go in. So the next one we'll cover. Let's go with this game direction because that's very clearly a thing.
I mean, that's just kind of development, though. I don't. Who has the best game development company?
Yeah.
I guess that's
so
fine.
awarded to a game studio for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design.
I would honestly, if I had to pick amongst these, and so it's Wolfenstein 2, Resident Evil 7, Legend of Zelda, Mario Odyssey, and Horizon Zero Dawn, I would actually probably give this to Resident Evil 7 as the only AAA company that has launched a full-length VR game.
Well,
That to me is-
when it came out, like isn't Skyrim coming to VR?
Yeah, Skyrim's out, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
and that game came out 7 months ago, 8 months ago. Like, that's a huge achievement. And I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, Zelda's awesome. You can climb anything, whatever. Mario's got great game design. Horizon Zero Dawn is a beautiful accomplishment for a studio that kind of came a little bit out of nowhere. Like, I mean, not really. They've been doing those stated. No,
Wait, who are we talking about?
Killzone.
Yeah.
Oh, the
games for a
Horizon
while,
games.
but I mean, like that game came out. It's gorgeous. It has beautiful everythings. But to me, Resident Evil really is the one that really broke some ground.
Yeah, I see, and I keep going to Zelda
Yeah, Zelda's great.
just because it's just so massively.
I don't think it's the
different.
wrong answer.
No.
Yeah, that's the
That's
thing.
the
When
thing.
you get down to this point in the game,
Yeah.
there's literally no wrong
Yep.
answer.
See, now the next one I think that's a good set of games.
So we're talking about best narrative. That's the next one. Outstanding
Yeah.
storytelling and narrative development in a game. What Remains of Edith Finch?
Which God,
Incredible.
that game was good.
Nier Automata. I don't know
It's
the
got
story
a
about
terrific
that.
story, and it's really weird. It's told in a very interesting way, in that essentially you have to keep playing the game over and over again. Too. I mean, there's like. I thought there was only like 3 or 4 endings, but I think there's actually like 15.
Holy crap stick.
You just keep playing it, and there's different ways to get through it. So it's presented in a very unique and interesting way too.
The other one, another one is Hellblade: Senua's
Yeah.
Sacrifice, which, if you've not played that game,
I haven't. It's on the
you
list.
need to play it. You
Yeah.
need to play this game.
Yeah,
It's incredible. And then we got Wolfenstein 2.
which I have not played yet, but nobody is saying bad things about that game.
No, that's the thing. Nobody's saying bad games about
Yeah.
anything that's on this
Yeah.
list. These are all fantastic.
Yep.
And then Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, which has a great story. At least, but I've only played maybe 8 hours of that game, maybe. But the story's great. I really enjoyed it so far.
Cool.
Yeah.
So after that, looks like we have got Best Art Direction.
Yep.
So real quick, Destiny 2, which, I mean...
It's gorgeous.
It's
but
gorgeous.
It's just gorgeous in a very generic...
Yeah.
I mean, I could never say anything bad about Destiny 2 because it's beautiful, and I don't know how many times I thought, God, I wish this game had a photo mode because I want to take a
Isn't-
picture
there's
of
not a photo
things.
mode?
There's not.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
But it's not... It's it's nothing I don't think you haven't seen that
Yeah.
you didn't think the same thing about Mass Effect or Destiny
It's still-
1. It's beautiful, but it's
especially
a space
when you compare it to the first one, which was kind of sparsely.
Yeah, still pretty, but
It
yeah.
was still, the first one was beautiful still, but compared to that,
Agreed.
like the
Yeah.
density of some of these environments and the
Yep.
close quarters kind of combat that you could get into, it's definitely different than the first
Yeah.
one. Cuphead, 100% hand drawn,
That's my pick for
animated.
sure.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
And see, I think again, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I think the artistic design in that is just
Zelda is a gorgeous game, and it's a game that's still going to look good 10 years from now. But to me, it doesn't break any ground.
Yeah. That's my second place here.
Yeah.
is it. Persona 5.
I have not played, but I hear that visually that game is amazing. And not, I mean, like, just from a way that they lay out their menus, from the way they lay out their fight scenes, from the way they, like, it's just artistically gorgeous. And I've seen a bunch of screenshots of it, and it's beautifully done. But
Right.
again, I haven't played. I probably should put 10 hours into Persona just to
We should all just
do
put
it.
10
Yeah.
hours into every single one of these games here, and then
Everything.
catch up back in another
Yes,
year
I'm
and a
going to need
half.
some meth.
Oh, well, you know, I leave.
watched-
I'm gone for 1 week, and it's heroin.
Yeah, whatever.
I come back, and it's meth.
I'm going to need something to keep me awake. If we're going to put 10 hours into each of these games,
Okay.
I'm going to need to sleep a lot less.
Okay, I'll go with you on that.
Thank you, sir.
Horizon Zero Dawn rounding out the art direction category.
Gorgeous.
Well,
God, that
another
game's
gorgeous
beautiful.
game.
And was really the first game I saw that really took big use of that, HDR, checkerboard, 4K stuff. I mean, I loaded that up on my Pro, and I was just like, damn.
Right.
I mean,
And we could keep going on and on and on because there's a bazillion
oh, geez, these
categories.
do go on forever, don't
Yeah,
they?
they go on and on and on. So if you want to check out all these games and all the different categories and vote, we encourage you to thegameawards.com. And then the Game Awards themselves are going to be on December 7th, next Thursday. So a week after this show is
There's some
posted.
fun categories here, too. I really like games for impact and best ongoing game. Like, that's a really cool category.
Yeah, there are wow. There's
These
a
really do go on
lot of
forever, though.
games. Wow.
Best VR
I'm
game.
going to vote for South Park for best RPG.
Oh, that's weird.
Kind of weird.
I'm kidding. I love that game. It's great.
Yeah.
So
there's some good stuff. Check this out. And like I said, definitely watch this. Like, it's a fun photo. This will be the third year I've watched it.
Cool.
And if you can watch the like HD version, I think it runs on YouTube, I want to say. And you've got a 4K TV, it's really worth watching that way.
Have to check it out. Up next, let's talk about Destiny 2 and their leveling system, because it seems like there was a big thing that a lot of people kind of were like, well, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
At some point last week.
Well, and I kind of wonder how long this has been going on.
And just now people are going,
and-
wait a
because,
minute.
I mean, I think everyone had that feeling about Destiny, though, that you'd get going and you hit like about level, 265, 275, and all of a sudden leveling got really, 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 really hard, and it was hard to find stuff, and it was hard to find drops, and it was hard to, it was really tough. And they kind of looked into it, and all of a sudden they realized that the amount of XP they said they were giving to you, and this is my interpretation, the amount that they said they were giving to you was not the amount they were actually giving to you, or that the things you were damaging weren't giving you as much XP as they said they were. Is that how you interpret this?
That's how I interpreted it.
Yeah.
But what I thought was like, okay, between this level and this level, you needed 100,000 XP,
Yeah.
and you just got 10,000 for this thing. The next level, they're not telling you that, okay, now you need 200,000 XP, and you're still only getting 10,000 from that guy.
Yeah.
So that's how I
Yeah.
just assumed the leveling was always working, because it became so grindy difficult.
Yeah. And so I think it's really interesting. But then apparently some folks on Reddit kind of said, like, hey, guys, we can tell you're doing this. And they said, like, and they didn't really say, like, oh, you got us. They just said, like, oh, hey, we're changing the way XP works.
Yeah.
And it's just because the other way we were doing it didn't really work out.
Because you figured it out.
Because he can figure it out. But so now apparently it just is way harder to get XP. So like they didn't. It's more transparent, but it's still equally as difficult. So
Right, 'cause
I don't know if that's better.
The thing was, the other day, I thought they were like, it was all like, yes, we realize that this is probably not the best practice moving forward, so we're going to change things up. I didn't realize they were going to go, oh, you're right, we're just going to make it really difficult, period.
Yeah.
So
essentially they just doubled up, and they took away this kind of hidden block of XP, and they just doubled the amount of XP you have to get for everything now. So
Boy, if you could hear how hard my eyes just rolled in my head.
yeah, and like they said, it's it's their decision on how they want to do it, and that's fine. And at the end of the day, I don't know if I really care because, like, I love Destiny 2. It's super fun, but I'm really, at this point, it's just kind of pushed off to the side, and I'm waiting for DLC to come out.
Yeah, which in the DLC is on the way.
Soon, yeah. I think this month, actually. Or next month, December.
No, it's this month. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
next,
it's not quite
I keep
December
thinking
yet.
that we're... Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just ready for Christmas to be over.
Right? Same.
And I love Christmas, but man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, and I know that a lot of this popped up with the bright engrams because they were like, well, 50,000.
You're not getting them as often.
Yeah, 50,000 gave me this much in my bright engram bar the last time, and it only gave me half as much this time.
Yeah.
So that's how
Kevin
that's
confirms that the DLC is coming out December 5th. So soon. That's a week from today?
Yes, next Tuesday.
Well, it's actually literally a week from today.
Yep.
So we're recording on Tuesday. So nice.
Fortnite, that other PUBG
that
thing
other
out
PUBG
there,
game.
that is really pretty, actually.
It's fun too. I like it playing it.
It's fun. I'm so used to PUBG, like
Yeah.
the cartoony, floaty
it's
way
different.
Fortnite plays. Just I can't handle it.
Yeah.
But they are going after
realism.
Yeah. Totally. They're going after cheaters. They are not effing around when it comes to
No.
cheaters, and it doesn't matter if you happen to be a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah. So, I mean, and like, it's not, people are getting banned out of both PUBG and Fortnite, like,
Tens of thousands a day.
10,000s of it a time. I mean, like, there are so many people cheating in this game and PUBG.
How do you cheat?
A lot of it's like you download apps that like let you look through things, or aim bots that make it so you always hit the person, that kind of thing. So, more like my question isn't how you cheat; it's why. Like, what joy do you get out of?
I've
like,
always wondered that.
Like, I'm really awesome, except I'm not. I don't understand that at all. But
here's a game that you did not have to pay any money for.
Yeah.
You are not invested in this game whatsoever. It is literally just a game.
yeah.
And you're cheating.
Yeah. And so what happened though is so Epic, the kind of parent company that's been making Fortnite, has taken to suing people that are visibly cheating. So like if you're just a cheater and you just cheat, they just ban you from the game. But if you're a cheater and you're getting online and streaming and saying like, "Hey, look at me cheating and this is how I do it and this is the software I use," they're filing suit against those people.
Did this kid do that?
Yeah.
That
Yeah. And so, and they're claiming that the reason they can sue these people is because
you're violating the...
Yeah, the EULA says you can't modify game code at all. And so these cheats work by essentially changing values in memory or whatever and modifying the game engine as it's running. And so that technically breaks their EULA. And so in theory, they have every right to sue. I very much question whether that would ever hold up in any court ever.
Right. Or why are you even bothering?
Well, that was like our show notes, and I think Adam didn't read it just because he was wondering what I was talking about. Is I said, Fortnite suing cheaters because that worked for Metallica, and that to me is, don't sue the people that play your games. It's like I understand why they want to do it. They're trying to send a message that you shouldn't be a cheater, but it also sends a message that we're a big bad corporation and we'll sue you if you do.
It's such a strong arm tactic that it's like, just ban them.
And in this case, they sued a 14-year-old, and like his mom came back. Like, I mean, that's the reality. Is that you've made a mistake when the person you're suing doesn't. Yeah, come back. It's his mom does, and the mom came back. And she's like first of all, he's 14 years old. He can't legally accept a end user license agreement because he's only 14. He's not legally liable for that.
Right. Does the responsibility shift to the parents though on
I
something
don't know,
like that?
But then he shouldn't be playing this game.
Yeah,
So, but that's his fault. He shouldn't be. I mean, that's.
But
that's
also,
the parents'
they
fault
sued
then.
this kid and released his name into the public.
That's a problem.
Which is illegal in Maryland.
Did they really?
Yeah.
No.
And and so
Guys.
it just kind of goes on and on. And you just know, maybe this is one of those any publicity is good publicity, but this makes Epic look really, really crappy.
I don't know.
But
I mean, I agree too. Like, you shouldn't cheat. Cheating is dumb.
You shouldn't
Why are
cheat.
you doing
Cheating
that?
is dumb. Exactly. And I'm sorry, even if it's just to put the fear of God into this little turd,
Yeah, right.
just to go like, oh my God, they're gonna sue me. Like,
Yeah.
just to freak him out.
Yeah.
Totally worth every dollar they spent
Yeah.
on that. Now, releasing his name, no, that's
Yeah,
a bit much.
that's
That's a bit
obviously
much.
where we draw the
Yeah.
line. But
And my guess is they didn't know he was underage when they did it.
they just
so.
I'm sure he's not also maybe not the only person this happened to.
Yeah,
I don't,
they
I
sued
don't
quite a
know.
few
accepted.
people.
He
So-
accepted the EULA, so automatically they assume he's 18.
Right.
Yeah.
He basically told them, I can
18.
be sued, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I get both sides of it, but what I don't get is why do you do it? I just don't understand. And I guess maybe it's for lulz. Maybe it's for
Why do you cheat, or why do you sue a
why do you
14-year-old?
why do you cheat?
Oh.
You know, I mean, the why do you sue is, I'm sure, just like, we're a corporation. We do dumb things some of the time.
Or just, hey, we told you not to do it, and this
Yeah.
is why. Because
Yeah.
we're going to make fun of you
Yeah.
now.
You
Like,
know.
it's just a big, giant...
I guess the thing is like, what does Epic get out of that? Like, are they suing for damages?
Yeah.
You know, and like the mom pointed out, like, you're suing for damages, but it's a free to play game.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But I mean that doesn't matter either.
Yeah.
Damage can be drawing someone else's
Yeah,
character.
yeah.
Like
So-
you're taking away from their
Right.
thing. That has a value.
Yeah.
It's hard to really describe what it is, but
But
that's why
it's hard to describe what it is.
That's why
so.
I honestly like her letter was probably the worst thing she could have done because she is full of errors
Yeah.
because she's pointing out things like that, but obviously doesn't understand copyright because that's an infraction.
I
You
kinda-
took value away from it.
I kind of hope this actually goes to court, though. Like, this would set a really interesting precedent.
Right.
Maybe.
She
Might set a really
completely
bad
admits
precedent.
to her son cheating.
Yeah.
And then, but it also says like Epic Games has no capability of proving any form of modification, yet he streamed it on the YouTube. Therefore, that would be.
It's kind of...
I mean, I guess unless it actually shows on the screen that you are cheating.
Right.
I mean, it could show the result you're cheating, but it's also really hard to
Right.
differentiate.
how you did it.
Yeah, I mean, like when my
Right.
brother played a lot of TF2 or Team Fortress or one of those games back in the day, like he got accused of cheating all the time, but it was just because he was really good.
Yeah.
You know, and so like in some world, the difference between cheating and just being really, really good, you know,
I mean, the moral of the story is just don't cheat.
don't cheat. Or if you're going to
And
cheat,
if you
only cheat
do,
at single player games.
And don't stream it on YouTube and
Yeah.
say, hey, look at me cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
People
don't know
are
if you should
dumb.
let your mom write letters to
Yeah, I was gonna say,
either,
too.
but I
It's
don't
not
know.
like you were late for school.
This whole hullabaloo is just
Silly.
Hullabaloo.
It's so much. Like literally nothing. All of you go home. All of you take your ball, go home, sit down, and think about what you've done. No one did handle the situation correctly.
Yeah, it's funny, though.
It's a lot of funny.
So on the opposite end of the whole battle royale thing, we've got them guys suing the cheaters, and then on the other side, PUBG has taken that chicken dinner and they're putting it in a little box and they're saying, "Here, take it to go."
Yeah. So
And that's going to be fun. I actually read this yesterday, and I'm
real
like, "Oh, that's
strange.
going to be cool."
Maybe, I don't know. So
I think it will
PUBG
be.
is going to come out on mobile in China.
I don't even know what this means.
I don't even, like, I can't, like, the idea is really interesting, but how do you control a dude?
So I keep getting on my Facebook app feed. You know, they get the sponsored targeted
yeah.
ads, blah blah blah. There is already some
Yeah.
battle royale game like here
Yeah.
to play, and it looks strikingly similar to PUBG.
Yeah.
I don't know how it plays.
Well, and that's my question. Like,
I don't know.
how do you control? Like, to me, like, you're gonna need a controller for that. I can't imagine using on-screen controls to control a player in a 3D space
Right.
while you're trying to precision shoot guys through a.
Is Dylan having like an aneurysm just trying to wrap his brain around this?
No, I'm still on the last thing too. Like, I don't know.
I think my favorite part of this announcement, though, from Tencent, the folks that do PUBG, is that because it's being released in China initially, where it's never been released before, so you can't play PUBG right now in China.
Oh, so there's gonna be a. Oh my god.
And so
You can't?
There's gonna
no.
be so many people playing.
Yeah, because
really not?
No, because of just like China really restricts what
Right.
you can and can't play there.
I
And-
thought that's where the majority of their bans were coming from was China.
but maybe you can't play it legally there, I suppose.
It hasn't been released.
There's only
in
like 5
China.
billion.
But they
people
said
over
they
there.
would ensure that the mobile version of PUBG would reflect the proper socialist core values, Chinese traditional culture, and moral rules. I have no idea what that means in context of PUBG, but I really, really, really want to know.
Yeah, I mean,
How?
Yeah.
How does that?
China's an
is
interesting
it because
place,
it's
man.
a battle royale? Like
I-
only one person wins?
I literally do not know.
everybody? Is that?
Maybe.
I don't know. That's
Yeah.
all.
That's a
really
fair
the
question.
That's really the only thing I could come up with in my head.
Yeah.
I don't
I mean, I
know.
kind of want to play it
Yeah.
just to be like.
But
No.
they assume that this game will come out, once they kind of test it out in China, they assume it'll roll out to the rest of rest of the world, but who knows?
Until they
know what that
realize that it
means.
just doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't know.
How?
I
Are
literally
you threatened?
he does. He
Are you
sounds
worried
very
that you might
threatened.
actually have your chicken dinner taken away by somebody on a freaking iPhone?
I don't believe they'll play on the same
Yeah,
game.
How great would that be, though?
It's gonna no, just no.
You know you're going to try it when it comes out anyway.
Like, are you gonna be able to connect a controller to your phone? Is that?
I mean, you can. Apparently, the game that the battle royale game that's already there is Terminator 2 themed
that's
and licensed.
okay.
Anyway, I wonder if we can get that in the United States. I want to try that. So
I would.
yeah.
I'll
Anyway,
play it.
I guess we'll see.
There's that. Well, and there's all your news. Thank you for giving Dylan
A heart
an
attack
aneurysm,
and
like,
an
it's-
aneurysm.
I still can't even get over this Fortnite thing.
Mommy, I'm getting sued by a giant company. I'm going to write a strongly worded letter.
Well,
I wore an onion on my belt because it was the
like-
fashion at the time.
I don't you can't claim ignorance. Like, he's
Right?
not even old enough to play this game. Well, how is he playing the game?
Are you
Let him
sure
do
that?
it.
I'm not sure that's probably rated T.
It says right here though that the
But the
license,
online portion is unrated,
minors
blah, blah,
cannot
blah, blah,
play
blah.
this game. Like that's what it says.
Interesting.
This article says anyway. Parental
is a
consent is
minor-
required for minors, which she did not give. Well, that's not an excuse. That is
Right.
not an
Well,
excuse.
but I mean, I kind of like yes and no.
I mean,
that's
that's
not
what
an
I'm saying.
excuse for
That's-
modifying a game and cheating and doing something illegal.
No. But I mean, like, I really disagree with those kind of like shrink wrap, click through URLs.
That's
yeah.
not the problem though.
Yeah.
It's like he still did something illegal. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter whether or not he was allowed to play the game or not.
Yeah.
Right.
Those things are unrelated.
But I'm wondering if what she's saying is if this game, did it pop up a thing that says, hey, are you over the age of 18? Click yes or no. And if it didn't, does he blindly, him breaking the rules of the EULA, is that enforceable or not?
Right.
And like shrink wrap EULAs are like have
Yeah.
been pretty contested core
But we watched
so
South Park about that,
Yeah.
and you end up getting turned into the human centipede.
Makes sense.
So,
Oh,
I mean,
Everything comes back
don't
to
just
South
click
Park.
yes. Read the agreement.
Seriously.
Know what you're agreeing to.
So, like, when my grandpa got his first computer, he called my dad. He's like, so, I'm installing the software, and I've been reading this thing, and I've been reading it for, like, an hour, and it's really long and very incomprehensible. I printed it out, and it's still, like, it printed out, like, 60 pages of paper, and my grandpa literally printed out a EULA from some
That's
software.
amazing.
Wow.
And was, like, going through and highlighting the important parts, and we're like, no, just click yes. You'll
yeah.
be fine.
Just don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just be done. All right. So speaking of done, we are done with news.
Yay!
Done. Yay.
Done with news.
All right, and we go to questions now. I got a few this week. JoeColeslaw, Annie's got one for us as well, but we like to start off with.
Hey, yo, Vinny,
Yes, that's the one.
what you got cooking this week?
Not a
I'm
chick-
hungry. I'm hungry.
I'm kind of hungry, too.
I'm real hungry.
I could eat.
I just ate, but I'm still hungry.
Yeah.
Want some more French fries?
Oh, now I want French fries real
Right.
bad.
We went to Red Robin for lunch. It was good.
Yum.
So Vinny is asking, what's a game that's gotten you through a rough time in your life? He's currently going through one himself. Video games with friends is what's helping him cope with it. Just curious if you had a similar experience.
I'm not sure I've ever had like a, something terrible happen and I
Connect
use
those two
video
things
games
together.
to deal with it. But I constantly use video games as a way to de-stress. Like
Oh, yeah.
to me, it's very consciously too. It's not just like I'm I'm in a bad mood, so I'm going to play video games. It's like I have too much crap in my head, and I need to
Get it all out.
I need to get it all out, and I need to go violently kill things for. And like to me, it's very. I will never say like I've got a lot of crap in my head, and I think I'm just going to go play some soothing adventure video game for a while. It's like no, I want to kill things with some sort of like a sword. I want to go into Diablo and hack things to death. I don't even want a gun. I want to viscerally hurt things, and it helps. That's why I'm as sane as I am.
Oh, that's what this is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sanity.
you should see
You're
me
looking
without
at
video games.
sanity.
It's not pretty. It's not pretty at all.
Do you remember? I can't remember what the studio was that did it. I think it was called that game company actually. Flower.
Yeah.
So Flower for me was, I won't say that I was going through like a comparably kind of rough
Yeah.
time, but like I was working a lot. I had just lost my job, and I was trying to make sure that I was paying bills and on and on, and this, that, and the other.
Hustling.
I wasn't. I mean, yeah, okay, we'll go with that.
You're hustling.
But it's like I loved coming home to that game and just sitting down.
Yep.
And zoning out and flying around on the breeze, and it was so nice.
Yeah.
It was so nice. So, like, I think I might be the opposite of you, where
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
all right.
I get real stabby throughout the day, and I need to go home and like save the planet
Yeah.
in a
That's good.
very peaceful, ecologically sane
Same way. Did you know they've got a new game coming out?
Oh no!
And it's coming to iOS first, which is good for you because you have an iPhone now. It
they
is
did
called,
Journey as well, didn't they?
Yeah, Journey.
Yeah.
Yep, it's called Sky.
Yeah. That makes me very happy.
Looks real good.
So yeah, I mean that was kind of my game at one point, and games have always been kind of that thing for me too. It's
Yeah,
like
I
if
agree. Yeah.
if I have a fight with somebody, if I somebody runs into my car pulling out of a parking lot while I'm on my way to work, and I'm in the right lane and they're in the wrong lane, and it's still my
remember
fault.
that day.
What?
Yeah.
Then I'll go home and I'll bash some heads in.
Well, and to me too, I get real antsy when I can't. Like it definitely affects my mood when I'm in a mood that I need that release from and don't have time to play or don't have because sometimes like it's not a half hour. Like it's not like I need to get in and get out. It's like I need 3 hours. You
Right.
know, and if I can't find that time, it's very hard for me, and
Totally.
it definitely affects my mood. Dylan?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can connect any one game, but I mean, Grand Theft Auto was there a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very much a game of just, I mean,
100%.
any game where you can just do skullduggery for hours is great.
I think that's that new pirate game actually.
Yeah, that's a great name for a game.
Skullduggery.
Yeah. And Saints Row came at some
Yep.
point too, but those kind of games are always good at that. But I agree that I think people that do enjoy video games need to carve out that time when they go home. Like, go home, turn on your game,
Yep.
and play it for an hour.
Yep.
Be faithful to that. Don't just like go home and get sucked in and never do anything else or whatever. But
totally.
I mean, that's not. But like, make that time for yourself and do it because it really does help. And I know I started trying to do that because I didn't play for a while and kind of just fell off of it. But then I started making myself do it, and then it kind of does. It turns your attitude around. And I think I'm generally a very positive person.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to drag me the other way. But I find myself when you do kind of end up on the other side of the bed every once in a while that you got to do those things, like whether it's reading a book and playing a game and just doing this escapist kind of ways to broaden your mind. And
well, I think self-care is
use it.
important.
Yeah, so that stuff's
It
important.
gets I don't know, the millennials have ruined everything, and I think they've ruined that too, or something. I don't know.
That's for sure.
Old people tell me things, and I try. He's the only millennial I've ever met that hates all the rest of the millennials. I'm 40. I'm like, millennials are great.
I just
They're the
hate
next generation. They're going to be
I
fine.
think millennials kind of like top out at age 35 now. Like, you think about it.
I think that's
like,
crazy. I think that age group is so not the same.
Adam and I are Zennials.
know.
We're the,
I mean, I'm I'm kind of, we're
we
on the end of
we
that.
fit the group between millennials
That's so
and
weird.
generation.
I don't
X.
think
I just don't
millennials are that
relate
bad.
with.
I don't either.
I just don't relate with that. If you drew that picture and posted it on the wall, I don't feel like I fit that mold at
You don't.
all.
You're real weird.
But I just hate everybody though. So it's,
yeah,
not,
no.
it's not just millennials.
Yeah,
okay?
it's
Right,
everyone.
right.
But
I
I think that that's one word that gets thrown around a lot. And I think it's important, and I think
Yeah.
that if that's how you do it, then video games are the way to do it.
Exactly. And kind of like to follow up with that question. Like,
I thought this was actually a good follow-up question.
Annie wants to know what's your go-to game when you're sick, or what was your go-to game since we're adults now and sometimes have to work when we're sick. Haha, not me. Hers has always been Earthbound.
And Annie is actually sick right now. So.
Oh, Annie, I'm sorry you're sick.
And unfortunately is at work
But
because she
someone
has to
also
adult.
pooped on the floor.
That happened at her work today, and it
And
really.
left it.
She was talking to Discord today, like
I assume that happened in the bathroom at work.
I hope so.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that's probably
Like, I've heard of people that work retail and they poop in the fitting rooms.
Yeah.
They just like dump.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. Maybe someone just pooped at their desk. I don't
You'd
know.
be surprised the amount of times I've actually run into the whole fecal matter thing in my professional career, just whether it's radio or working in
Like
a bar
upper deck
or
something,
whatever.
or-
Yeah.
Like you'd
Poop
be
in the
surprised how much
urinal.
poop shows up in your life.
My brother worked not retail, he worked grocery, and so they had a code for it. Like
Code Brown.
Yeah, no, it was
Mr. Brown.
Yeah.
We got a Mr. Brown in the laundry
I think
room.
he said 22 poop.
So is there a game that you'd just like to sit down and play when you're sick?
No. I usually
No.
Usually when I'm sick, I actually use it to kind of power through whatever I'm playing. Like I wish I had more time to just like sit down for 5 hours and play games because it's really hard to make meaningful inroads into something you're playing. But I don't. And so when I'm sick, I usually just like whatever game I'm playing right now that I really want to drop 7 or 8 hours into is what I do. And so last time I was sick, that's when I beat near
Automata. Why do you have such a hard time
I don't
saying
know.
Automata?
I just can't say. I want to say it so bad and I can't. Because I think part of it's I think about how it's written, and for some reason those two things just don't work. So I beat that, and I put some time into The Last of Us as well. So
I always go to a Hot Shots golf game every single time when I'm sick.
speaking
every time.
of that everything golf,
Everyone's golf.
Everybody's
has been super
Sure.
cheap lately.
Has it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't need another game to pick up
Yeah.
right now. Damn it, Cliff, shut up. Hot Shots Golf is the one that I always go to. If I am sick, if I've got things coming out of every orifice of my body, I will sit down on my couch, wrap up in saran wrap, and then I will play Hot Shots
Rubber
Golf.
diapers.
Right? I will play Hot Shots Golf, and I will play that for 3 days until I feel better.
You've got it on the DS now, or the
Vita.
the Vita with you, so you don't
I
have
could
to do the
literally
saran wrap thing. Yeah.
I could.
Don't.
It could be in the saran wrap with you. Bubble boy.
Do you play games when you're sick?
Yeah, and it more like Cliff. Like, I don't get sick super often, luckily. I'm
He's young.
fortunate for that. But when I do, yeah. And the thing is, like, being sick drives me bonkers because I can't stand not doing anything. I cannot stand sitting idly. That drives me insane. So games are, like, I have to, like, put in a game and play it. Like, doesn't matter how bad I feel. I got to read a book or something constantly when I'm sick because just being stuck at home is the worst.
Yeah.
I will wrap myself up in a blanket and I will not move from the same spot for 3 days if I can.
know.
Yeah.
I have no problem doing
I'm
that.
gonna go do chores.
God,
Oh,
that's how my wife is.
yeah.
My and like
Frickin'
everyone
weirdo.
jokes about the man flu and the whatever, but my wife's like, "You're sick, so what?" I'm like, "But I'm really sick. I think I'm dying." She's like, "Yeah, get up." And she's like, she's the power through being
Yeah,
sick. I'm like,
that's-
"You're just making yourself sicker. Sit down for a minute, watch a movie."
No.
She's like, "No." I'm
nope.
like,
No way.
Kevin
Yeah.
likes to tell me, he's like, have you taken medicine? And I'm like, it's Theraflu. It doesn't get rid of anything except symptoms. I'm still going to be sick and still feel like crap. I don't care if I'm sneezing, coughing, or whatever. Like, if I'm coughing so hard that I can't sleep, then yeah, I'll take something.
Yeah.
But otherwise, all it is a 2.5 hour reprieve from
Right.
a sneeze, and
My
you
nose
still
dries
feel
up
like
for
crap.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not, you go drink your NyQuil and have a great night. Anyway, all right. Thank you for those questions, Annie and Vinny. We're going to wrap it up with JoeColeslaw.
this one's a little long. Do you
so-
want me to like kind of?
Paraphrase.
I'm going to read it.
All right, go ahead.
Here we go.
I'm listening.
Back in the 70s and 80s, arcades have implemented a pay-to-win program, 25 cents at a time.
I loved that analogy, by the way.
I mean, he's not wrong. Looking at the home consoles like the NES all the way through the PS2, Xbox, GameCube, you pay most of the cost of the game, and that's the end of it. Period. Next, you had the 360, the PS3. They used DLC to expand on its games like map packs, or like expansion missions and Elder Scrolls. Then, towards the end of that generation, you started getting those season passes and all available DLC for one flat fee. Now we're starting to see season passes fade away and going back to the pay-as-you-go expansions. Because from a marketing standpoint, we know it works.
Yep.
But from the consumer point of view, would you like to see games go back to the full package, or do you like the DLC expansions are available to extend the life of a game? So we've covered DLC
We've covered
numerous times, numerous ways.
seasons passes. We've covered all this crap with microtransactions, and so
Yeah.
I guess the question is what what's the best way?
Right.
You know,
From purely a philosophical standpoint, too. We're not talking. Are we taking into account money?
I think there's two answers to that question. I mean, like in a I don't think anyone would disagree.
World.
In a perfect world, we'd buy a $60 game that came with everything that would ever contain. It would be 100% done. We'd load everything. There'd never be updates, and everyone would
But
go
that's
home.
just not possible.
Yeah.
So,
Not anymore.
So let's do the realistic
one.
The realistic perfect world.
I think for me, I'm perfectly okay with a game costing $60 and there being optional DLC, and that could be with or without a season pass. I'm not a season pass buyer generally. Occasionally, I buy.
Because I don't even think you don't even save money necessarily with season passes. You can
Usually
sometimes.
I would say
Sometimes, but
almost always you do.
See, when I got the DLC for
Like Destiny, you save not a ton, but $5 or $10.
Yeah.
Really?
I think it's
Yeah.
about a $5
They're
or $10
usually $5 or
break.
$10 savings if you buy. I mean, but that's the reason you buy a season pass. Is
Yeah.
they're cheaper than waiting to see what will come on them.
Yeah.
But to me, like I'm not a big season pass buyer. So to me, I would say season pass without doesn't matter. I probably won't buy it anyway.
Right.
And then cosmetic microtransactions.
See, and I guess it all comes down to what you want out of the game. Like if you buy this $60 full-fledged experience, which none of these games are just half-assing it. Like you're getting a full game for $60. Period. Yeah. You are.
And I think that's an important thing to say. Is I think that a lot of people believe that DLC is just something they should have put in the game, and that's not how DLC works. Very like back in the day when DLC was very first a thing. Yes, occasionally that code you bought would literally just unlock something on your disc, and all of a sudden DLC.
Yeah.
But usually the DLC is the stuff they make between the game going gold and when the DLC comes out.
Yeah.
There's actual work. And like sometimes does that, or, sometimes, yes, has that been something they've been working on for a couple of months? But yes, that's how game development works, is that, things happen in phases. Your artists get done and they need something else to go on to. And so they start working on the DLC while maybe backfilling in on, other stuff. When a game's in QA, it's, a lot of that's just happening by QA people and programmers. Those other people need something to do. When you're talking about a team of 200 people or 300 people or 1,000 people, like not all of those people are going to be busy all day making the game you're putting out. So, that gives those people something to do.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's important too that DLC acts that way, where it does separate itself from the game. And I'm thinking, or for instance, like I remember Halo 2 on the Xbox.
Yeah.
Halo 2 was great, loved it. Multiplayer was fun. That's awesome. And then eventually they said, "Here's a disc with more maps."
Yep.
That was awesome. Like that was so great to be able to be like, "Yeah, we get more maps. Like we know all these maps. We'd love to have some new ones." And then let's say go to the Xbox 360 generation, PS3. We have Grand Theft Auto 4. It was awesome. And then they said, okay, we have these 2 big new episodes with different characters, different story arcs. Like, that's awesome DLC. That's not something that you're like, well, this is kind of just part of the game, right?
Yeah. And that's kind of like, I would argue that the Breath of the Wild's first DLC was stuff that probably should have just been in the game.
Right.
Right.
Horse armor.
Horse armor's the best DLC ever.
Like, it's awesome. But Borderlands, when they added character classes, I think that can go either way. Yeah, maybe it should be a free add-on. I don't know.
And I mean,
but that's also awesome to be able to have a new class.
Like a lot of Diablo stuff has gone that way, where they'll, Diablo usually ships with like 4 acts, and they'll ship a 5th act that then gives you access to like another couple character classes. So I think the theory being a lot of time is I've already beaten this game. Maybe I want to play it again with a new character class and beat that new expansion level. So
right. I don't know. Like I was saying, it's like if you keep in mind that when you're paying $60 for a game now, you're still getting a singular standalone experience. You do not have to get the DLC.
Yeah.
Maybe you enjoyed that game so much, you're like, holy crap, I would totally pay like an extra $10 for another 5 to 10 hours of content.
Yeah.
Do it if they offer it.
Yeah.
If they don't, you don't, then whatever. Like you don't, like anymore, games are not locking away content that you've already got that you're paying to unlock. They're not doing that. You're getting an additional experience to add on to it all that you're not going to get with just that base game.
And I just rarely find that by the time I've sunk 30, 40, 50 hours into a game
I
that
don't
I
wanna
want
drop
more
another
DLC.
15.
Yeah, I'm usually done. And I always think like, man, but when I get sick of this, like when I get to the point where I've got a lot of nostalgia for this game, I'll go back to that. You know if that's happened?
Yeah.
Never.
For sure. And I mean, that's an argument to make for no, give me the whole game.
Yeah.
Give me everything. Because there was times where like I played Fallout 3 and then they had great DLC that I never played.
Yeah.
Because I was already done. I had already moved on from
But I mean,
that
I think
game.
the
So
reality
that-
is if it was longer, I think I probably would still just go like, oh, that's optional stuff. I don't know if I care about that.
Yeah.
So, and then when you
But
compare,
it was like different areas. Like they did that kind of hillbilly,
Yep.
kind of
Yeah.
swamp backwoods kind of thing, and that was really interesting to me. And if like that was a spot I could have explored, I
Yeah.
totally would have. But I never got back to
Yeah.
playing it. And
So what do you think, like, so when it comes to Destiny in particular, because Destiny 2's got their big one coming up, the Trials of Osiris or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it is, and it's not free.
Yeah.
That's what is it, 10 or 15
I don't know.
bucks?
I bought the season pass for that one, oddly
See,
enough.
I
So,
didn't.
yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah, you bought the deluxe.
Did I?
You paid
I
like
did.
$90
yes,
for the game.
I did.
So yeah,
I did.
you got
Okay.
it. Yeah.
So, but like, so when people want to argue about that, I'm like, well, you used to wait like 3 years for another expansion on
Yeah.
World of Warcraft and drop a full $60 for that too.
Yeah.
So it's
I'm-
like,
I
when it comes to the ongoing like games of service thing, like I think paying for expansions, there's paying for
It's fine.
expansions. Like to me, I think DLC and expansions are a bit different, just because like DLC is like, okay, here's some additional content, but like an expansion is like, here is a
Big stuff.
whole
This
new thing.
edition 1.5.
I think
like,
my
it's-
thing is
yeah.
I almost wish there was an option. Like to me, those two things are almost too far away. Like I've got Warcraft over here that has constant new content, and there's a ton of it, and then there's these big yearly. Here's a ton of new content. Poof. And Destiny, where they're like, I don't know, here's some stuff and a little bit more stuff. Like I wish I could pay like $5 a month for Destiny 2 and just have a constant stream of new things to do.
Yeah,
Like I said, right now I don't have any urge to log in because I know that the only thing I can do is effectively dailies or grinding the same thing over and over again. I wish there was just more stuff.
Would that change? Would you pay $5 a month to have a game like Destiny 2 always available to you
I think
on your
so.
on your system?
And if
Yeah.
there was content
Coming
to,
If there was
to
content.
make that $5 a month.
and have you
where
guys
I'm
actually
playing
played, or I'm sure you heard of Warframe?
Yeah.
So
I need to
Warframe-
try Warframe because I hear it's great.
It's a great shooter, and
Yeah.
it's now like after what 4 or 5 years of kind of being
Really
out there,
kind of hit its
It's
pace.
like there is a ton of content. Yeah, there's some grindy stuff, but it's a
Yeah.
free game.
Yeah, it's Warframe's one
So-
of those ones that's constantly like, I should try that. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I have it installed on my Xbox.
I played it.
just haven't
I played it on the
actually done
PS4.
You
It
like
was
it?
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
I need to try that out.
yeah, it's a good question though. The DLC argument
It's
conversation.
going to go on
just-
from now until the end of time.
Yeah.
And the answer is, which one do I like? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love having more stuff for a game I like, but never hold anything back.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the summation
Yeah.
of it.
And that's the thing. I honestly don't think that games. I'm sure some developers to a degree.
along the way, it's definitely happened.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
But
But most of the time,
Yeah, like a lot of the
Most of
stuff
the time
that's
it's
happening
okay.
now,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's
But
like, hey, we just
maybe-
got this giant thing done. Play this while we wrap the rest of this
We'll
stuff
figure it
up
out.
here, and
Maybe-
we're gonna push that out too.
I'll give one other example. Maybe or like the new WWE 2K18 game, for example. It's a game you buy for $60, but they have like 20 wrestlers that you want to play that are behind a paywall.
See,
See,
and
that's kind
just-
of annoying,
that's-
right?
Yeah.
Because it's like I want to wrestle as those guys, and now I got to give them $5 more to play
Yeah.
as Kurt Angle, or I have
think
to
that's
play.
dumb.
Like that's kind of the content that's like, man, that's just part of the game.
But I can even, like, I guess the thing
But-
is, I could see that being released in batches. Like,
Yeah,
like
and
they
that's
used
how
to
they
do
do
with.
it,
But I mean, that's kind of how like Rock Band used to work, where you got Rock Band, and here's 50 songs. When we're done with those songs, we're going to release another couple, 2-3 songs every 2 or 3 weeks,
Right.
and they do that in Marvel vs. Capcom too. I want to say, and like
Yeah.
I can almost get behind that. Like it takes time, it takes energy, it takes balancing, it takes
Absolutely.
extra stuff. You can't just release. Here's 500 wrestlers.
Right.
There's some work that goes into that, so I understand
and
why.
it's like they usually do it for a reason. Like here's the legacy wrestlers.
Yeah.
Here's these alternate wrestlers when they were different gimmicks or
Yeah.
had different costumes or that kind of thing.
I
but
can get
it's,
why
it's
that
still.
sucks.
It feels like it's a part of the roster, so it's like that should be a part of the roster,
Yeah.
and I think that's what strikes people weird. Whereas if you get this whole like new storyline with this B
Yeah.
character, like okay, I get why that is a separate.
Yeah, I think I'm okay
expansion,
with that
so-
kind of rostery update thing.
so-
Like,
I'm
but again,
okay with
but again,
it.
I probably
It's-
wouldn't buy him anyway. So,
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
it's like I want to play as Kurt Angle, but I can't. So
It's a
Well,
bummer.
and I'm just
Write a
not
strongly
going
worded.
to.
I know
so.
a mother you can talk to who will write a letter for you, and she
Well,
will take
I
care of you.
think that it should be this way,
Yeah.
and they'll listen to me
That's
because I wrote "think" in all caps,
Oh
There
well,
you go.
good for
so I meant it.
All right. Well, thank you for the questions, Joe, Annie, and Vinny.
Yep.
Good ones. Good
good.
discussion this week. Let's get into some cheap free games.
I love cheap free games.
Yeah, and now that I've got games with gold, I
sweet.
have an Xbox One X.
This is very
Games
exciting.
with
Scorpio edition.
gold.
Yeah.
What?
A bunch of people are asking, like, why aren't I friends with Adam on Xbox? I'm like, well, he's only had it for like 2 days.
Yeah, I'm not friends with that.
I'm not either.
Are we not?
No, I don't
No,
think so.
you've never had an Xbox. How would we be friends?
Because I've had it for 2 weeks now.
You were sick. You weren't here.
I was sick.
And
That
then
was
we were
stupid.
eating
Okay.
a lot of food for a couple days.
Let's stop arguing about why we're not friends with Adam West, because
But we will be
everybody should be
friends
friends with Adam West.
Everyone, he's a good person.
Well,
He's
that's
an okay
debatable.
person.
Up first, Warhammer End Times Vermintide. That's the
Yes, I'm so excited.
It's the
that I can finally
absolute
have this
worst
game
name
for
for a game.
right. Is that the like horde mode kind of?
It's
It's
like
like
Left 4 Dead
Left 4
style.
Dead,
It's
but
a
in the
4v
Warhammer universe.
A bunch of other
Yeah,
rats. or
4v
something.
rats.
Yeah, 4v rats.
rats.
It's a game exactly that I've wanted to play for so very, 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 very long, and I've had it on the PC for like a year, and I don't know anyone else that owns it.
Well, you're about to know a
Yeah,
lot of people.
so I'm
That's
very
very
excited to
fair.
play
I'll have it
this.
for free. I'm so excited. Like, it's actually like this game was
Pretty well
good,
received,
like,
yeah.
and the second one's coming fairly
Yeah.
soon.
We should try this on Sunday too.
Yeah, the name's a little wacky, but I
terrible.
understand
Warhammer,
it being
End Times,
a Warhammer
Vermintide.
nerd. So like I understand why it's
Warhammer
called
stuff's
this,
awful.
but
And that's available starting tomorrow, the 1st. I don't even know.
should have just been called Vermintide.
It should have just called Vermintide.
Right?
Let's see. So the first is will actually be tomorrow from the day this podcast
So
is
Friday.
released. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. So that's good stuff.
I'm excited about the second one actually, just because I've always wanted to play it.
Yeah.
Back to the Future, the game.
Yeah, a very very early Telltales game. I was actually telling Dylan. I was running through and looking at kind of some of the Metacritic rankings for Xbox Games with Gold ones,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the only game on Metacritic that does not have any ratings at all. Like they didn't. No one reviewed.
No one covered this.
Yeah,
No
no
one
one
covered this
covered
game?
Back to the Future the game on the Xbox One or the PC or the PS4.
IGN didn't even do it? What?
Yeah.
That's insane.
At least not that Metacritic's picked up. Isn't
That's
that strange?
funny.
Yeah.
That's available December 16th through January 15th.
My birthday.
Yeah. Child of Eden,
Yep.
which was that a 360 game?
Yeah. These are all the Child of Eden and the next one are both 360
Okay.
games.
Child of Eden looks really fun too, by the way. It's
Yeah,
a
it
very
Very pretty.
yeah. I want to try that. That'll be available on the 1st as well through the 15th. And then Marlo Briggs and the Mask of Death.
Is that a good name or is that not a good name? I'm
That's real bad. That's like cheesy Hardy Boys.
that
stuff,
you're
like-
100% right.
What?
That's 100% right.
Have you looked at the cover?
It's real strange.
What kind of like 70s
a new breed
blaxploitation?
of right? That's exactly
This
what I
just took a
thought.
turn. Like
A new
blaxploitation
breed?
meets Hardy Boys.
Right.
A new breed of warrior returns,
Meets,
committed to destroying the enemies of freedom. When one angry man has a world to protect, there's only one future, his own. No nonsense hero Marlowe never shied away from danger or trouble, but now he faces his. I don't know because that's where it ended.
All right.
That has a 9 out of 10 on Steam. So
If that synopsis / description hooked you, make sure you get your Xbox games with gold this month.
it's made by 505. 505 is like a legit developer, right?
I guess so. They put a game out.
Well, they made Payday.
I don't know.
They
what
made
that
Sniper
means.
Elite. They make Terraria.
Maybe it's
so
good.
Okay.
Let's check it out.
yeah.
Okay. If you have an Amazon Prime subscription, that means you also have Twitch Prime.
Hey, congrats. Me too.
I know, right? And this actually looks like an interesting little game. It's called The Flame in the Flood.
It is. I have not played it. It's been on my to play for a long time. It's a procedurally generated.
This is procedurally generated.
Yeah, survival game. I
This
think.
type of art style is procedurally
Yeah.
generated.
Yeah, isn't it pretty?
It looks real cool.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure. I guess I might be wrong, but a lot. Yeah, journey down a procedurally generated river that changes with each playthrough. It is, I believe, a survival game with permadeath. So
It's like Don't Starve, but prettier.
yeah, and you're going down this river. It also has an absolutely insanely gorgeous soundtrack. The soundtrack is just incredible. So, like I
Fun.
said, it's been on my list to play forever, and I just never got to it. So it's free though if you have Twitch Prime. So
Do it.
you have to get the Twitch Prime desktop app to
Okay.
download it, but definitely free. So give it a go.
Super fun. Small bites. I was going to say something about a small bite, but
Was it,
it was the Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
so-
talked about it last week.
That's fine. See what happens when I'm sick.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's what happens when
Courage.
you're sick.
Okay, so that's that.
Yeah.
Are we done?
No, Troll Corner.
I know we have Troll Corner,
No, that's it.
but
Besides Troll Corner, we're done.
Corner.
I can't work with these people. Okay, who put the Troll Corner here?
Me.
Why?
Hey, Troll Corner.
Cause man,
Gamers, right? Mostly so this kind of ties into the whole EA microtransaction thing, and
Okay.
I'm really bored of hearing people being really excited that Battlefront is failing. And whether it is or not is completely
Doesn't matter.
unknown to us. But
I'm sure they're doing
excited
fine.
that it's failing.
they're super excited because that game had microtransactions in it, and they hate microtransactions, and they want it to fail. And the big thing is right now they're saying that pre-order physical copies of Battlefront 2 are down like 30%. And like that's great, that's a number, but we also know that digital sales of video games are up like 30%, so it could mean nothing at all actually. Like they may still be very on
Literally
target.
nothing.
Yeah. But there's a bunch of people that are really happy that EA is failing because
well, EA's not failing
we
because
hate
of one
these
game.
things. But even past that, like the point I want to make is that sure, hate microtransactions, that's fine. And even to a point, vote with your wallet if you don't like microtransactions. That is also fine. But wanting a company to fail as a gamer is terrible. Like DICE is a great company that makes great games that employs actual people. And if that company fails, those people all end up unemployed. And so
Maybe they should have made a better game. No, I'm
wanting
kidding,
a game
I'm
to
kidding.
fail is like literally saying people that make the hobby you love deserve to be unemployed. And
Why
that's
would you wish
horrible,
death upon anybody?
right? I mean, like I get being upset about things. I get vocalizing about those, but telling developers and artists and people that
Your game stinks because of microtransactions, not anything to do with its game.
yeah.
Well, now here's the
But they
thing
have
that I'll
no
say about
input into
Battlefront
that.
2. I'll say about Battlefront 2. Everything I've heard about it is it's not a good game.
See,
it's
and
an okay game.
I've heard it's
but it's not good.
But I've heard it's like a 7 out of 10 or a 7.5 out of 10.
So
Everything I've played
I've
in
heard
it's
between 5 and 6.
everything I've played in it's been great. But I mean, flat out reviews have been in the like 75% range, which is good.
I don't even know if you can make a good judgment of what people say about
No.
it because it's been so tainted.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
A review score of that game isn't fair.
Anything.
I can't believe there would be
Way
a
to
fair,
review that game right now.
There's
but I mean,
bias has already been injected into it so
I mean,
heavily because of
But my real point is
so the microtransactions were a thing. Like I do, I get
Yeah.
people don't like microtransactions. That's fine. If you don't like them, don't pay for them. That's fine. But at the same time, is there any excuse for EA locking Darth Vader behind 40 hours of gameplay?
yeah, it's called progression.
Right.
Like,
But I mean, not just. But
when I started
40
Destiny, I had a
hours
little
of
plinky
gameplay?
gun. You know, I mean,
40 hours of gameplay,
but
or
it's
you
not.
could
But it's
literally-
not 40 hours anymore.
It's not anymore.
And so,
or
but
you
so
could
the
have
real
paid
point though
to
is
unlock him early.
the real
You could have
point
paid.
is though is the game that launched retail. That wasn't true. So everything that people are saying about microtransactions and
Okay.
Darth Vader being locked up, whatever, never occurred in the game that actually released retail. It was all pre-release stuff. It was
Okay.
all people playing on EA Access. The day that game launched, they killed all the microtransactions and reduced all the times to get stuff. So
By
people
like
are
half.
Yeah, people are
Not
bitching
even, like,
about.
but
yeah,
when I say not even half, I
75%,
mean
think.
way more. Like, yeah, it was like
people are
75,
complaining
80%.
about a game that doesn't exist. Like that game that they're complaining about never
Right.
came out.
and that's why I can't imagine the reviews are
Yeah.
any good because they were all reviewed.
So then,
Before.
why would EA, if you want somebody to give you an honest review, why would you do that, knowing people are going to
Well, they
lose
didn't
their
know.
They didn't know.
freaking
How do you
mind?
know?
They didn't know. I mean,
You don't think that
well,
the
and we
nerds of the
actually talked.
universe are going to
Did
like?
we talk about this
We
last
talked
week
about
or was
this,
the week
yeah.
before? Yeah, I've got some pretty solid conspiracy theories on the reason they did
Yeah.
do that.
Oh, okay.
We talked about this for like 20 minutes
Yeah,
last week. So,
but you know, either here nor there. Like what I have heard happened actually is that Disney called up and said, like, knock that crap off.
Oh yeah.
you
That's
know.
what I'd heard. I'd heard and
And
read
so,
about that too.
like, it doesn't really matter. And like I said, hate microtransactions. That's fine. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care if you hate microtransactions. I don't like them either. I don't buy them.
yeah.
But stop.
Unless it's Candy Crush.
Unless it's no.
Oh, I did. Like $20
It's
bucks.
okay. I don't judge. I almost paid $5 for $200,000 in Grand Theft Auto this weekend.
just so
I can buy bullets. But like, wanting a game to fail is terrible if you're a gamer. You know?
yeah.
I wish every game was awesome and I could buy and play all
Right.
of them, but I can't.
And when they're not good, then that's fine. Like I said, don't buy it, but don't wish failure on people that spend their lives being extraordinarily passionate about things we love.
And I bet a super majority of that staff, if not everybody, tried to make the best game they could.
Exactly. Even crappy games.
There might be one person that really was like,
Yeah.
why do I have to work on Star Wars?
Right.
But I
That person
bet
doesn't
you
exist.
that's not most of them,
No.
considering the people that make games probably like Star Wars.
And I mean, the thing is these decisions aren't being made by a programmer or an artist or a concept person or a voiceover person or a QA person. They're being made by executives at developers and publishers.
who are in their position to what?
Make
money.
money.
Like, that's their job.
But at the same time, too, games exist to make money. They're not,
Right.
you know, games are art, but they're made to make money.
Right.
So, I don't know. Anyways, that's my troll corner.
Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Okay, well,
Now that Cliff's all worked up and angry, it's time to go home and eat
get
dinner.
in traffic.
Yeah.
Watch out. Don't run people over. All right. Well, that's that. That's this week's episode of the Bite Me Podcast. Episode 54 is done and done.
Done?
Not done.
No.
Thanks to everybody on Mixer for watching. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
If you guys have any questions for us, you can ask us on our social medias or follow us anywhere. It's at Bite Me Podcast, BYTE Me Podcast, bitemepodcast.com.
And the Discords.
And the Discords. Yeah. Just stop by our website and click on the link up in the upper right corner. Need to check out our website sometime again.
Good stuff. I think I need to redo our website. It needs a facelift.
It's been a year.
It's been a year.
Ah.
And I kind of threw it together in the first
Zing.
place.
Like every 1-year-old needs on their first birthday, it's a facelift.
a new facelift.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
for sure. Baby.
Babies are ugly.
yeah. Little aliens.
Wrinkly little
Right?
drunk
Little
people.
alien animals, monsters, trolls, hobgoblins.
Orcs.
God, I hope you don't have kids. Anyway,
I will
All right,
in
find us,
like 5
follow us,
years,
like
maybe.
us, subscribe, review, blah, 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 blah. But most of all,